So, hey, somebody in the kitchen. This is what I'm going to deal with the entire time.
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about cannabis.
Community violation. Code Green Plant.
Well, you're going to hear stuff probably now because I'm in my house because I have a new studio in my house. It took me a while. Yay! It
That's
took
so
me a while.
exciting.
I know. It took me a while to make it, but this right here really can help us kind of keep a schedule of some sort. Even if it doesn't matter really what day we decide to do it, it's still during the week and ahead of schedule.
We can make it more convenient for our schedules instead of just it has to be this day.
I'm excited because I feel so much more comfortable.
Do you?
I don't have to rush. Yeah, I feel very comfortable here, and I like that aspect of it because it's like when we go to the other place, if we did have an edit, a re-edit, or something we wanted to throw in, I couldn't really do that. I'd have to go all the way back there after I figured we missed a spot or something.
Mhm.
So this helps. It's really cool that we have this. But I've missed you.
I've missed you.
Yeah, it's been weeks. Like this is I think our longest pause, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's been
And you were building a new studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was building a new studio, and then there was an email that we got. I think you should introduce the show because of Kinsey.
No.
We have a True Blue follower, it sounds like. So I figured I would
can't wait to hear it again. I haven't read the email since almost when we first got it. I read it a couple times then, and I love it. I think it made
kind of
me
brilliant.
Laugh because it is. But it wasn't directed too much negativity towards me, so I can't.
It was all me. It was all me, and that's okay. When I first read it, I was like, "Is this a real person?" And then I'm like, she had so many details from 3 different to 4 different episodes, so she definitely watched it. But I didn't really know how to take it, so I figure I'll share it with the audience. And I wouldn't have even shared it. I like to do things on the show and not really share it with Phoebe so I can get a genuine reaction. We like to do that with each other, and this one I could not hold back. I had to share because I was like, at first my feelings were hurt, and then when I started sharing it with Phoebe, I was hysterically laughing because I'm watching her expression, and it was just priceless. So I know I'll never get that genuine reaction again, but I'm gonna.
It's a good email. I just feel bad that the night you got it made you feel bad a little bit, because you just got to find the beauty in something like this. You
got to understand, it wasn't just this email that made me feel the way I was feeling. There's a lot of hate out on the internet in general, and it can be very hard to digest and to think to yourself, they don't really know me. They don't know me at all, and they're just taking maybe one snippet or one video and they're forming an opinion, and I have to remind myself that they aren't my people if they feel that way, and I just have to keep rolling. Some people just actually get a kick out of just making people feel bad. And I'm not saying that that's what her goal was. I'm not really sure what her goal was, actually. Not really 100% sure if she's trying to help me or not, but I'll let you decide what she was actually trying to say. So her name, I'm just going to give her first name, assuming she's real. But her email does show that that's really her name in her email, so I'm kind of thinking it is real. Her name is Kinsey. She said, "Hi, Christy!" ! I recently started listening to your podcast because I have a New Year's resolution of smoking more marijuana. Don't we all?
Every year.
Every year. And I want to make sure I know all the ins and outs of this crazy drug. I heard one lady somewhere took pot and then stabbed her boyfriend over 100 times recently. And I will say, did she hear that or did she hear us? Because we actually talked about it.
A California woman that stabbed her boyfriend to death, but she only got 2 years probation and 100 hours community service. Can you imagine a reason why that would happen?
No.
Stabbed her boyfriend 108 times.
Rage in California after that woman right there, convicted of stabbing her boyfriend to death, only gets a slap on the wrist.
We probably told you about it, Kenzie, but
you
know, at least just so you know, you did retain it. You just forgot where you heard it from.
Exactly. Seems like a good topic for your show. Anyway, I don't want to become a nutcase like her. Too late. So I'm tuning in to you and Phoebe. I can never spell that weird name as often as possible now, and I think you have a lot of information that may prove useful to me in my personal journey with blazing up the weed. Great punctuality, by the way. Here's some feedback from me as a loyal listener. I like the music in your show a lot. It sounds cool, and your voice is great too. Phoebe's is even better sometimes. I think she should be the main host every other episode or something. Listen, Kinsey, I tried to have her host this one and she said no. Okay? I'm not trying to take it from her.
I'm not trying to take it from you.
I also want to note a couple of things I noticed during a sports episode that you may want to go back and edit ASAP. First, I heard you kept saying how much you admire Kobe Bryant, but you kept calling him Colby Bryant. And she's right. I think I did. And to the sports fans all over the world, the Lakers fans, you know, just the Colby fan. I was just a Colby fan. I'm not even a basketball fan so much. I think I did.
You did. It's like repeatedly.
Why didn't you say it? Why didn't you save me? That is your job. That is your job.
Well, because the first time it happened, I'm like, wait, did she just say
Kobe?
And then it happened a couple more times, and so
did I ever say it right?
I don't think so. Wait, but
I'm sweating.
Wait, am I okay? So I felt like it was more an enunciation thing. I felt in my head, I'm like, she knows the man's name because she knows about him. Yeah. I was thinking it's more an enunciation thing, like how you pronounced it. And being that you're from New Jersey, I'm like, maybe that's how they pronounce it in New Jersey.
It's only my pronunciation. Because don't blame Jersey.
Even though my son's name is Caleb, some Spanish speakers call him Caleb or something along. You know, it's like, maybe it's not Spanish.
You're giving me way too much credit. You're giving me way too much credit.
I'm just like, I don't want to rain on her.
No, and the thing is,
accent parade. I don't know.
Next time I can edit. Next time, just say, "Listen, Christy, from me to you, Kobe. You keep saying there's no L. Kobe.
Do you know how to spell it?
Yeah.
What?
You want me to spell it? Kobe.
Okay.
I just say Kobe, but I call him Kobe.
Now you
is
call
that
him
right?
Kobe. Kenzie, thank you for letting Christine know how to pronounce Kobe Bryant.
Oh, she's not done letting me know.
I almost called him Colby Bryant right then.
Okay. So
keep going. I'm sorry.
No.
Myself because I'm gonna keep laughing. It gets funnier to me.
No, you cannot mute yourself. But I will tell you, she is right. And I now I'm just gonna listen to the entire episode to see if I said it right one time. Just give me one, Christy. Give me one. All right. So you're like, no.
I snort loud. Y'all are gonna hear that.
Okay. So hold on. Let me finish. She's not done.
Okay.
Nobody calls him Colby. That's literally insane. It seems like you may not admire him that much after all. Ha ha! Exclamation point. Also, it's disrespectful to a dead man. Oh, did you know that he raped someone and admitted it in court? I don't admire that part of him, but then he bought his wife a $4 million ring. So she said it was fine, and he became a hero, girl dad, and then died. You know the rest. I'm not sure she's a fan either, if we're going to break it down. just guessing. Next paragraph. There are 5 altogether, I think. I also noticed that when you tried to sing the NFL song, you got some of the notes wrong. As a lifelong football fan, I'd like you to please correct that so no one else has to hear it. You know what time it is? It's football time. NFL theme song that we can't afford to put in our intro. I would like to say this. This is the only part I'm actually going to defend. When I did that, that was kind of a parody type of thing. I wasn't trying to sing my best, but I'm not going to pat myself on the back. But I did win $500 in a karaoke contest at my last job. Just saying. I wanted it to be funny. As a lifelong football fan, now if anybody knows me, I'm a football fan. If anybody's a football fan, it's me.
Certain players, and I like some certain teams, but I don't like watch it and yell at the TV like y'all do.
Yeah, no, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Me and my son Trevor, it's a thing. It's like it's how we bond. You know what I mean? It's one of our football is one of our bonding things. My granddad was actually one of the founders of the AFL, which you've probably never heard of since you said you only watch football in order to eat chicken wings and see the commercials. I could care less who really wins, honestly. I'm there for the wings and the Super Bowl ads. So
there you go. Unless
we're talking about the Super Bowl, I may have said it for the Super Bowl because I didn't care about who was playing. But I'm a football fan. I don't know where she's from. I'd like to know what her football team is, though. I mean, I would. I'm curious. She's probably a Philly fan. Oh, and you never said the name Gronkowski.
Oh!
I can't say this name. Partnered with a CBD brand, along with Rob Gronkowski. Gronk.
Just call him Gronk. I think that's what they call him, Gronk.
Rob Gronkowski, Gronk. Yeah, I think that sounds good. I don't like the Patriots, so I don't really talk too much about him. I'm a Cowboy fan,
okay.
So
You're a
that's
little
why
biased.
I can't. That's right. That's why I can't say his name. Cowboy fans don't say his name. Gronkowski.
You said it.
Is that it?
Gronkowski, right?
Gronkowski?
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski.
Gronk. Just
Gronk.
Gronk.
Yeah. Gronkowski. Correctly, which was super strange to listen to. I will admit this one. It's pronounced exactly how it's spelled, like Kobe. You just look at the words and say them how they look. Such an idiot. Okay, let me know if that's okay with you. Okay, hold on. She put, thanks, Kinsey. P.S. I don't know how to subscribe. Now, this is my favorite part. I don't know how to subscribe to your show. You said to hit the button if I'm watching right now, but I was listening on my iPod Shuffle. I'll keep trying to figure that out. You should also try to be a Cowboys cheerleader if you want. Who cares if you're old and not skinny? I always wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Unfortunately, I never had the body for it.
I've seen some pretty thick cheerleaders, so I don't know how you'd say. I guess maybe back then.
I'm old, Phoebe, so that would have been back in the skinny, model-esque days. You know, plus, have you seen their uniforms?
Yes.
There's nothing. You can't like pad or hide anything in that outfit. They mainly care if you can dance to lots of modern pop and rap songs. I think. Okay, bye. This is my life now, Phoebe.
I don't want to laugh at Kinsey, but I can't help it. I did good at holding it together through it. I didn't want to laugh and ruin you reading it. But
she is a really good writer. I just have to say that. She is a really good writer.
She must study our episodes.
I don't know, but I'm scared if
she's not, because she's telling us to do topics we already did. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening either, but I have a feeling the more we record, the more stuff like this we're going to get. That's just my...
I'm here for it. So I feel like Kinsey's what's the word I'm trying to look for? Harmless. I don't think Kinsey has, you know, so that's why I just, you know, I'm the stuff she mentioned. But now the Twitter fights or TikTok fights, I feel like some of that probably does get malicious, does it? I don't see it. I mean, I don't see what you're dealing with, but I mean, are they really trying to hit hard there? Like, it's not like Kinsey level, right? No.
It depends, because on TikTok, I'm actually starting to build a community that actually likes every post or comments and is kind of being very supportive. And they start to fight each other in my posts now. So I don't necessarily have to jump in and say anything. They will come and they will kind of get involved in the comments for me. Not on Simply Vibin'. There, I'm still alone. because I haven't really built a community there. But on my own personal Christy Chanel one, yeah, I'm starting to have people that are really cool and I enjoy, hanging out with on there. But yeah, no, people are scary, scary, scary. And you gotta, I don't think she is. I think she just likes parody and I think that she likes to dig a little bit and in a funny way. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Kenzie came back and did another one. Can you just focus more on Phoebe this time? The girl's name that you can't spell?
That's what I was like. I want a little attention to Kenzie. I'm not perfect. I need feedback too. What can I improve upon?
I will work on my NFL theme song for you. Okay, I'm going to practice. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to hit those notes. I mean, it won't be a Whitney Star Spangled Banner moment, but I might be able to hit the notes better so people don't have to hurt their ears. But I'm not going to do the cheerleading thing. Thanks, though.
I told you though. Kenzie agreed with me. You could,
Who cares if you're old and not skinny? Those were her words, Phoebe.
She didn't say you were old or not skinny. She just said, who cares? She's.
You know what? Okay. Phoebe's email is her email is below on the screen, but it's also
Phoebe
don't tell yourself
at simplyvibin.com.
Yep.
But it's PHEBE at simplyvibin, and that's VIBIN.com.
Do you know what day it is?
420.
420. We decided to make a big comeback on 420 and show you that we are back.
We're back.
Baby. And we couldn't let 420 go by and not come with an episode. So, yeah. So that we knew we could come together and kind of get this going for the right time. So,
yeah.
We told them what took us so long. Okay. We got a burning topic today.
Bernie. Yes, I do.
Ready?
Yeah.
Burning topic. I think that was pretty good.
We got closer for sure. We almost did a little harmonizing there.
Burning topic. Oh, Kinsey will love that one. Kinsey's our new third co-host. She just doesn't know it yet. So, burning topics. What do you got?
I know you got one. A burning topic. Yes. So, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick announced that he's going to make it a legislative priority to ban Delta 8 and Delta 9 products in Texas. And I know this is something they've attempted, but he's trying it again.
So I don't know that I really like Delta 8 anyway. I would much rather go to a legal state and have it the right way. I'm more about the natural aspect, but if you're looking for a high, I could understand why that would upset some people. And I do see it as a step back because if they start doing this, they'll start doing that and it will create more things. But in general, I would much rather be allowed to just grow a cannabis plant and learn how to make it towards me for medicine. Like I would love to have that capability and do that. I would love it.
Really?
I would love to have cannabis plants.
Yeah, it would be awesome to have a plant. I don't disagree with you there. I'm just surprised that you're not bothered by the Delta 9 thing and Delta 8. I thought you would be.
Well, because I think first when I started this, I knew you already knew my feelings on Delta 8. I was not high on Delta 8.
Right, I knew, but you were Delta 9.
I was Delta 9 until
so that's why I'm surprised.
I was Delta 9 until we talked to Shannon. And then Shannon told me it's the same thing. They still have to chemically derive it because you can't have a certain THC level here in the state. If I had the perfect business, the absolute perfect business, it would be finding ways to raise and decrease the different cannabinoids in the product. Because then somebody could come in like pharmacy and be like, well, I'm having this. And we could tell them, let's try this and this and this. Cause we know CBN works for sleep. So we can raise that a little bit and add a little bit of THC and we could start to do that. And it would be a natural thing for everybody. And it would be good for us. And it wouldn't be these pills out there. Now that would be a business I could get behind.
I think it's a step backwards for him to visit this. I think there's just so many other things he could make a legislative priority. Like, it's just ridiculous. As far as the Delta 8 and Delta 9, I take my information from you, Christy. because I'm more about the real organic plant.
The way I view it is, what would I give my dad? What would I want my dad to have at 70?
Yeah.
And I would give him something real. That's what I'd want to do.
Early voting in Texas starts April 22nd. And election day is May 4th for local. And then, we have federal and nationwide and all that in November of this year. Mm-hmm. This is the big election year. So it's ramping up. And that's something we're going to talk about as we get further into the year. Mm-hmm. Or, well, actually 420, we have, our next episode, we'll have to go over all of the Texas laws and everything. What's coming out right now locally. And we've been on hiatus, so we haven't been able to get to that. So our next episode, I'm gonna get some info for us. We got 16 days until election day, and we're gonna get you informed on what is happening in Texas.
Yes. Well, do you want to hear what my burning topic is?
I do.
The Diddy raids.
We haven't.
I know you've heard. Sex trafficking raids. I guess the videotapes, the whole thing. He's in Miami chilling, like there's nothing happening in the world, and they're burning down his house. Now his sons are being handcuffed. They're like ransacking his house, and we have yet to hear from Diddy. And he's just living like he's acting like there's nothing going on, which is suspicious.
It is.
Don't you think it is?
I do.
Why is he not worried? Why is he not worried?
Or is he worried? So that's why I mean, it's hard telling which it is. I don't know how he's not. My husband thinks, he keeps saying if he ends up dead, or if he ends up suicided, he didn't suicide like an Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he's like, it's hard telling what all he has actually going on and what he knows and who he could bring down with him if he actually gets brought down. So it's all interesting how it's going to play out.
Alleged. But he has videotapes of everybody, apparently, and that's why nobody's opening their mouth talking. And the feds just went in and got all this stuff. So people are saying he's not upset because he's with the feds and he knows he's untouchable because he's giving them what they want.
I'm floored right now.
I know. I love that I can share my burning topic with you. Yeah, I fall into these rabbit holes, man. But I'm like, I want to understand what's happening with him. So it's like I watch and then I kind of find the middle ground. A lot of times there's this long, I don't know how many pages, but it's a freaking book it's out there. It's public knowledge. It is a lawsuit against him and it's got all the names in it. So people are reading it and they're explaining it, what it all means. And some have been redacted. Some names have been taken out, but others haven't. And you're able to connect who they actually are in the court case. You got Usher. Some people say that Bieber's a part of this. He was a young child during this whole thing and that he was brought into this scenario. Obviously not the villain, but the victim. It's a matter of time before certain things start to break. And wow. I want to see what happens. Like, because I'll tell you, I really liked him. I loved his music.
I did too.
And that's kind of just heartbreaking.
But then it's like, now that we look back, it's like, I mean, there was some weird shit that how we all overlooked it, but now you see, and then like that old Drink Champs episode was a big like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it screws with
you're going down even more darker stuff. I'm like, whew.
Yeah. I mean, and this is all alleged. We have to talk something about 420.
We have to talk about it. And so my first thought is like, I've always wondered, where does this even come from? Where did 420 really even come from? And so I did a deep dive into get some of the history on it or the roots. And it seems that it's still a little bit up in the air on the actual roots of it, which I didn't know. I thought we kind of had it settled. And so I'm going to go through some of these different theories on what brought on 420 and how it became what it is today.
Okay, let's hear it.
So one and it made sense. This one did. Some claim the number is drawn from California criminal codes used to punish the use or distribution of marijuana. So 420 is maybe a penal code. I want you to tell me if you think it holds any weight or not, because some of them do, some don't. Another theory is that 420 is the active chemicals in marijuana.
Do normal smokers really think that far? That deep?
No, you're right.
I don't think so. No. I mean, they may when they get really stoned and they may go that level. I don't know. I'm going to say
Okay, so actually you're right, because it says that it's not quite true. There's nearly 500 components in marijuana, so you're right. It's more than that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not ruling out the penal code, but you did quickly rule out the components. All right.
Yeah.
So this is a lesser known possibility. It comes from a 1939 short story, In the Walls of Eric's by H.P. Lovecraft and Kenneth Sterling. And the story describes curious mirage plants that seemed fairly similar to marijuana and appeared to get the narrator high at, according to his watch, around 420. Since the story is from 1939,
That
could
one
that
sounds a
be
little more. Yeah, I think
right?
that sounds more like, like a 420 Bible situation,
Yeah.
like it's the history. That sounds more like it, like the time on the clock. But see, the time is different than the date. So there's that weirdness because we're celebrating
Mm-hmm.
a date and not a time. Although 420, we do kind of say it's 420. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yep.
Maybe. I think that one sounds more likely.
Yeah. Okay. So that one is actually, it's not been able to be debunked because it's like, yeah, it predates it. It's 1939. Um, it could be part of the mix. They can't debunk it, but they can't prove it, I guess.
Right.
So
Like folklore kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yep. So another theory that I thought was pretty cool, a Bob Dylan song. Bob Dylan, the
Mm.
musician.
Yeah.
And it's a nod to one of his songs called Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35. And its lyric, everybody must get stoned. If you multiply 12 and 35, you get 420.
Does he do that in the song?
Well, in the song, he says everybody must get stoned.
Okay, but he doesn't say 420 necessarily. He just says these two, and then we have to
Yeah.
multiply them. I don't know.
Number 12 and number 35.
I mean, I could see people getting stoned and listening to that song and saying that for sure. Like, you know what? If we multiply this, it's 420, man. I mean, I could see that, but yeah, I could see stoners doing that. I could totally do that because music is everything when you're stoned.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say yeah.
You're going to say yeah? Okay, so this one, it seems to be a bit of a stretch, but nobody can confirm it. I will say Bob Dylan has never confirmed any link. He's never copped to a link that he knows of.
Why did he pick those two numbers?
I don't know. That's a good question, but
I just figured, you're stoned and you listen to music and you're like, oh my God, this piece fits with this piece. I could see somebody doing that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But he didn't say 420 though.
No, he didn't. So another theory is the Waldos out of California. Have you heard of this one?
No.
It was a group of friends at San Rafael High School in Marin County, California, back in the 70s. They called themselves the Waldos, and they would often meet at 4:20 p.m. to get high.
Yeah, I believe it.
For them, it was an ideal time. They were out of school, but their parents still weren't home. They met at that time every day near a statue. That was their thing. So
heck yeah.
You think
that's
that
got the most out of everything? Yes.
Yeah. So that is the one that has actually some evidence behind it. So I feel like that was a fun one. Yay, ding, ding, ding. You got it right. And then the penal code, you never...
Because
you think
I could see that one.
Okay, because you said so. You think it could?
I think it could because I can see that. I can see there being you're going to tell me there's no penalty code, aren't you? Or penal code.
Well, it just says that neither Los Angeles Police Department nor New York Police Department have a code 420. San Francisco has one, but it's for juvenile disturbance. So, they're
which
just saying,
could
like,
be
well,
it. Juvenile disturbance.
I mean, it all ties together. I think the Walls of Eric's, the story from the 39, that one sounds very like a big possibility. That has to be tied somehow. And maybe that's where the boys got the time 420 from, was from this story,
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true.
So a former editor of High Times said that it came as a ritual that they started, and that he has documentation, actually published documents, that gives the theory legitimacy, but it's unclear if the claims are valid. So they're saying they have like old letters that they wrote between each other once they went off to college, and they would like, here's a little bit of 420. They'd put it in the letter, sending to each other, and they say they have these, held somewhere. So this is the one that they think is the most valid. So I thought it was interesting because I had no idea there were so many different stories and theories, and
I'm
all about different theories.
And just think about how long this has been around. Like, 420 has been a thing for a long time.
I will say, if I lived in a state where it was legal and we had these big 420 festivals, I would definitely be going. I would be doing something. I think in Texas, all that we're going to have is, protests and things like that.
Yeah, and they don't have anything in Texas?
Well, I'm not seeing any big ones, but I did actually see that there's going to be some small ones. Let's see. Well, Dallas. Let's look at Texas 420 events. So they're going to have an annual 420 Music Fest. The Dallas Hemp Company is. Munchies Fest at a place so it's small places here in Dallas. It's small events. It's not going to be these big ones. I was more looking at these big, large ones, Amsterdam has a really big one. That's one of the biggest in the world. San Francisco, of course, at Golden Gate Park. It's home to Hippie Hill. They're going to have a big 420 celebration. Toronto, Canada. So those are the big hitters in this. I know Seattle has a big one too, because I actually tried to go to it one year.
Yeah, that's probably awesome in Seattle. I'm jealous because I will be here probably doing yard work like Phoebe, but nobody said we couldn't be high and listening to our music.
Do you think I go out in my garden and just,
No, I absolutely know you do.
Out there.
Yeah. This is Code Green Plant, and I'm Christy Chanel, and this is Phoebe James, and we are so glad that we had a chance to come and do an episode because it's been so long, and we'll be back. I mean, we're still looking at doing Thursdays. I still think that's cool, right? This will be a Saturday because it's a special episode.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Thursday, back to our regular scheduled programming.
Email Phoebe and tell her all the things you want to tell her. She will be so excited to get your email.
I can't wait to hear from you, Kenzie.
Kenzie, you need to email Phoebe. She's needing some.
I am feeling a little left out. Yeah, she spent so much time on your email.
Yeah, I'm so loved.
I was the one that found amusement in it.
I'm so loved. All right, Kenzie, we're looking forward to hearing from you again. And we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of Code Green Plant was sponsored by Simply Vibin LLC. Code Green Plant is a Simply Vibin production hosted by Christy Chanel along with her co-host Phoebe James. This podcast is not intended to be used for medical advice and is solely the opinion of the host. Please consult your physician. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Want more? Visit www.simplyvibin.com. And a special thank you to the core group of people who helped with the creation of the Code Green Plant podcast. We appreciate you simply vibing with us.
Code Green Plant. Shh.